Good morning, Hazel Park. Welcome to the 2024 Pride Flag Raising Ceremony. Thank you all for being here. We raise this flag at this ceremony every year to send a message that everyone is welcome in the city of Hazel Park. And it gives us an opportunity to recognize the outstanding contributions that the LGBTQ plus community have made to the revitalization of Hazel Park. Joining me here today to help raise this flag are Mayor Mike Webb, Mayor Pro Tem Alyssa Sullivan, Council Member Andy LaCura, as well as from the Hazel Park Schools, our Superintendent Amy Krupe, school board members Heidi Fortress, Monica Ratti, and April Beaton, as well as our County Commissioner Ann Erickson Galt, and a very special guest, United States Congresswoman Haley Stevens. Oh. You know, I just should have written everyone down. Well, I was going to introduce Luke when he's our keynote speaker. I also have to announce my friend, our wonderful, hardworking, greatly deserved re-election state representative, my friend Mike McFall, who I was also going to introduce the speaker as well. But so now I will turn it over for the rest of the run-up show to our councilman, Luke Londo, who will be our keynote speaker and also introduce a few folks who will say a few words. Luke?
Thank you, Ed. Hello to my girls and gays, thems and theys, allies and bis, lesbians, and assembled friends. Thank you for coming today to help us raise our Pride flag here in Hazel Park. Whether it's your first Pride celebration, or if you've attended as many Pride celebrations as Donald Trump has felony convictions, 34, I am so glad that you're here. I am proud to be joined up here by my colleagues and fellow elected officials who are working collectively to improve the lives of the LGBTQ community. Now I'd like to kick it over to my friend, former colleague, and current representative with the biggest caucus in Lansing, Mike McFall.
That wasn't awkward at all. Thank you for thanks everybody for coming out this morning for the Pride flag raising. The importance of visibility, I cannot stress enough. When I first ran for city council, I actually had a mom that had reached out to me here in the city because her child had recently come out to her, and she didn't know how to respond to it, and she felt like I was the only gay person she knew. So I cannot tell you the importance of visibility and the importance of having this flag so that people know that we are a welcoming community. So again, thank you for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And now I'd like to bring up Jeffrey Olivier with the Hazel Park Pride Fest to talk about this year's event.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Pride. Pride doesn't just start today, so don't put your flags away because Pride is every day. Pride is to take a moment to feel proud of who you are and where you're going. This year is so important that when you go to the election polls, that you realize that LGBT equality is at stake. So make sure you know we are not turning back the clock. We are moving forward. And we will fight back. So it's very important you know that when you go to the polls this year, and make sure you vote. Don't assume, just vote. So August 11th, Hazel Park Pride will be at Green Acres Park. We have a full celebration of day full of drag queen bingo, food, all types of different vendors. This will be really exciting. So I hope you all join me and everybody there for a good time. Everybody's welcome, our neighbors, our friends. We just want to celebrate equality all across Hazel Park and Michigan and across this country. I know there's a lot of people that can't be here because I hear you, I see you, and I'm always fighting for you. Equality is never a given thing, it's our right. So it's very important that we stand up and be who we are. And not only that, but we always have lots of ways to connect. Mondays at the Hazel Park High School, we have an LGBT club every Monday. We want to thank Hazel Park Pride and Hazel Park Cafe. They donate money every week to feed these kids. And so these kids have a space where they can come every Monday and be who they are. No questions asked. They can share their feelings, because I know how hard it is to come out at that age. So they don't have to no longer do that alone. We also have a lot of ways to connect with LGBT people here in Hazel Park. Every Thursdays at the Hazel Park Cafe, we always have LGBT game night. So you can come up, anybody can come up and play some board games. And you can always find me out in the community. If you need resources or anything like that, you can also go to Michigan LGBT Peer Support Network. It's on Facebook. It's an open helpline, and it's answered 24 hours a day. So those in crisis can get the help that they need. So I just want to thank everybody for this time, and Happy Pride.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and I hope to see everybody at our Pride Fest this August. Now, I'd like to invite someone to the microphone who is not only fighting for us here, but is fighting for us in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and Human Rights Campaign endorsed candidate, Congresswoman Haley Stevens.
So love is love, and being who you are is so important. And that is what Pride symbolizes. I love Hazel Park. I love this city. Standing here with our superintendent of schools, our mayor, our city council, the whole elected crew, our state house representative, our county commissioner. This is the best of government, and it's the best of community. And I want to thank you all for being out here. I want to say that this is a joyful day, and this is something that we can do in the United States of America. We're raising the Pride flag in this incredible city alongside lots of other flags. I am absolutely pro-choice, but I'm also pro-equality. And so when we have a president who has signed into law that to make gay marriage legal, as our friends have said, when we go to the polls, we have to remember that, because we have a president on this very day who's the first thing he said was Happy Pride. And he's up for re-election. I'm standing by President Biden. I'm standing by Mike McFaul, and I'm standing by Ann Erickson Gold, and I'm standing by our entire LGBTQ community of all stripes. We're going to continue to be inclusive and together, and we're going to shine bright in Hazel Park. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Once again, I'm Luke Londo, a Hazel Park City Council member and the first out LGBTQ member of the Michigan Civil Rights Commission in our state's history. And I'm here to tell you that the first Pride was a riot. In June 1969, at a small dive bar in New York City called the Stonewall Inn, police regularly raided the premises to arrest people violating masquerade or cross-dressing laws that suggested a man or a woman must be wearing clothing that matched their gender on their state-issued ID. Finally, on June 28th, our trans and non-gender conforming Alphabet family members decided they had enough and did something novel. They fought back. And that first brick that was thrown shattered a wall of complacency, of tolerating the flagrant violation of our right to self-expression, and of putting up with the assault of our fundamental freedoms to love who we want and to live our identity. The next year, the very first Gay Pride Liberation March took place in Manhattan, and the rest, as they say, is history. Except that it's not. It wasn't until 1999 that Pride Month became official thanks to a proclamation from President Bill Clinton. Only 2 presidents have issued further declarations since then, President Barack Obama and President Joe Biden. So on the 25th anniversary of the first proclaimed Pride Month, I remind you again that the first Pride was a riot, and that the LGBTQ community has fought for inch by painstaking inch since then. And that fight is far from over. It wasn't until July of last year that conversion therapy, a dangerous, discredited, and often fatal practice, was banned in the state of Michigan. The Michigan legislature currently has a bill before it that would ban the gay panic defense, a legal defense that reduces the liability of someone who committed violence on the basis that their homophobia and transphobia made them do it. There's another package of bills yet to be passed and signed into law that would allow our non-binary folks to obtain a driver's license with a gender marker that fits their identity, our trans brothers and sisters to change their name, their gender on their driver's license, as well as their sex on their birth certificate without needing to get fingerprinted, publish a notice in a newspaper, or ask for a hearing. So this month, while corporations change their logos, sponsor events, and offer Pride collections, I remind you again that the first Pride was a riot, and that the other 11 months of the year, we get to work and continue to fight. I acknowledge that we find ourselves in a moment where the LGBTQ community is not the only community enduring hardship. We are not a singular-minded collection of people. We contain multitudes. And our history of fighting adversity makes us excellent and relentless advocates for whatever and whomever we believe in. But when it comes to our civil rights and liberties, to our equity, to our basic humanity, we can all acknowledge that there is still a lot to fight for. For ourselves, for our children, like my 20-month-old son Finn, who is here today with my wife Madeline, and our entire capital C community. So grab a brick, a bullhorn, or a ballot, because the first Pride was a riot, and it still is. Thank you, and I'd like to invite Jen up here to raise the Pride flag. Thank you so much for coming out, and happy Pride.